Welcome to Totally Abstracted. I'm Michelle, and today we're talking about a feeling every artist has faced at some point. That moment when a painting just feels dead. You know the one. It's not singing, it's not moving, it's not giving you anything back. It's like the spark that was there at the start has somehow drained away. And when that happens, it can feel deflating. Like all the energy you poured into it has gone into a void. But these dead paintings are not failures. In fact, they can be some of the most important stepping stones in your creative process, if you know how to work with them. So today I want to explore what's really going on when a painting feels lifeless, why it's not the end of the road, and how you can breathe new energy into your work. When a painting feels dead, it's often because it's lost its sense of movement. Not literal movement, but that feeling of energy, possibility, and aliveness that pulls you in. This can happen for a few reasons. Overworking the surface, maybe, until all the freshness is gone. Overthinking every decision, which can strip away the intuitive magic. Playing it too safe. Staying in your comfort zone, maybe, rather than risking something bold. Or simply losing connection to your original spark, the feeling or idea that made you want to start it in the first place. I've had paintings that look technically fine, even finished, but still felt hollow. They didn't have that emotional pull. And the thing is, you can bring them back, but first you have to get curious instead of critical. One of the most liberating things I've learned is to stop thinking of these moments as the death of a painting and start seeing them as invitations. A so-called dead painting is often just a painting in a holding pattern. It's waiting for something to shift, maybe in your vision, your energy, or your willingness to take some risks. Sometimes that shift comes in the form of a radical change, and other times it's the smallest adjustment. So when I feel stuck, I ask myself, am I still emotionally connected to this piece? Then I might ask, what's missing? Is it movement, contrast, a sense of mystery? And a really important question, if I wasn't worried about ruining it, what would I try? That last question is so powerful because fear of ruining something often keeps us from making the move that could save it. So here are some of my go-to approaches when I hit that dead feeling. First is to introduce an element of surprise. Add an unexpected mark, a new colour or a bold texture. It doesn't have to stay, but it might spark something new. I also try shifting the mood. I change the palette, soften or darken areas, or maybe alter the contrast to move it towards a different emotional space. Or I try removing rather than adding. So scraping back, veiling with thin layers, or sanding, all of that can reveal hidden history and create some fresh possibilities. Another thing I try is flipping it, literally turning the painting upside down or sideways to see it in a new way. And another approach, and I have to remind myself to do this more often than I actually do it, step away for a while. Sometimes the painting isn't ready because you're not ready. So give it time and revisit it with fresh eyes. Sometimes though, the best thing you can do is accept that the piece has taught you what it needed to and let it go. Now this doesn't mean binning it, although that can be freeing too. It might mean painting over it entirely and allowing that surface to become something new. I've had panels that have lived multiple lives, each layer adding to the richness of the final piece. Even so-called failures can become the bones of your best work. I recently had a piece that started with so much energy, wild marks, layered colour, movement everywhere. But somewhere along the way, I played it too safe. I was too cautious about messing it up, and in trying to preserve the parts I liked, I ended up suffocating it. It sat in my studio for a few weeks until one day I thought, right, you're either going to live or you're going to be reborn. I scraped large areas back to the underlayers, added some new areas, and let loose with bold catalyst wedge sweeps. Suddenly it had air again. It wasn't the painting I thought I was making, and it's not finished yet, but I think it's on the way to becoming something better. So dead painting isn't a failure. It's part of the creative process. Loss of movement, overworking, and fear of risk are often the common causes. And reviving a painting often means reintroducing surprise, shifting the mood, or removing rather than adding. And sometimes letting go is the most powerful move you can make. Your creative challenge this week is to take a painting you've abandoned or feel is dead and see it as an opportunity rather than a loss. Choose one bold action. Scrape something back, veil over an area, flip the painting, change the palette. One bold action. And let go of the idea of preserving what's there. See what happens when you remove the pressure for it to be good and instead focus on bringing it back to life for you. If you want to share your revived work, come post it in my Abstract Horizons community. I'd love to see how you've reawakened a piece you thought was gone. When we embrace the messy middle and see dead paintings as part of the process, I think we unlock more freedom in our work. They teach us resilience, boldness and trust, not just in the art, but in ourselves. Thanks for joining me today on Totally Abstracted. Until next time, keep exploring, keep experimenting, and remember to keep it totally abstracted.